All right, let's talk about the pressure that comes from being a creator before you even go full time. I just watched ConjuredFilms' video about creators receiving free products. And I think there's a bigger conversation we need to have. So what viewers need to understand is this isn't just about a camera or a microphone or some random gadget. It's really about responsibility. And that responsibility is both to the audience and to the brand. And yeah, that gets complicated fast. So let's unpack that. But first, I want to say this. ConjuredFilm put together a great video. Her presentation is sharp, her opinions are strong, and she's sharing stories that reflect where the creator landscape is headed. And I think she's starting some thought-provoking conversations. And honestly, I think her channel is going to grow fast because of that. I mean, here I am creating a video and it's inspired by her video. And I even subscribed despite disagreeing with her in the video that I'm referencing. So here's the thing a lot of people miss. When a creator gets a product, paid or not, they're giving two major things in return. The first is a real-world, hands-on experience, and that helps you, the viewer, make an informed decision. And secondly, it's a spotlight on the brand served up to a curated audience that trusts us, the creators. And it's a audience that we've built through hard work, consistency, etc. So now, is that always worth the product? And depends. But it's not a one-way freebie. In fact, most of the time, the value we offer the brand far exceeds the cost of the product. I mean, if I share insights or footage that helps push even one viewer to go buy that product, that's break even for the brand. In many niches, especially like tech, that single sale can be more than the MSRP of the product they sent me because they're sending it to me at cost, not MSRP. I'm not going to the store and paying the retail price. They're just sending me the cost of their inventory, them as the manufacturer, owner of that product. So the second sale, there's profit in the first sale on considering that, but the second sale, that's pure profit. And that doesn't even count the impressions or brand recognition, or even the long tail SEO value that the content brings. Say for instance, I did a review on a Fi-Fi mic 4 years ago and it's still on my channel. So for 4 years, they've gotten publicity from me, right? So as reviewers, there's one thing I want you to understand as far as reviewer responsibility. As reviewers, we juggle a lot more than just what's in the box. We cover main features for people who've never seen the product before. That's why so many review videos sound similar. It's because you may be watching the video for the first time. You may have not seen the other videos, and so I have to share that information just in case this is the only video that you watch. It's context, right, for the first time viewer. And it's also to head off the trolls. You didn't mention rolling shutter. I don't cover every spec. That's, I think, for you to research. But I do hit the core, features that matters most. And some reviewers share particular vantage points because of how they use the product. So here's a strong opinion of mine. Your review should help people make an educated decision. Be honest, but professional at the same time. Include objective facts and subjective experience. So I'm gonna share the features, all of those things, but I'm also gonna share how my experience comes into play for this particular product and why I feel the way that I do based on that. But don't trash a product just to seem unbiased. To me, that's more fake than anything else when somebody just goes on a rant about a feature that may or may not even impact the person that's viewing it. This camera's just trash because of the rolling shutter, but you're gonna sit it on a tripod and point it in one direction. So does rolling shutter even freaking matter? If it's truly that bad to me, I just don't share it. I just decline the project altogether. And there's one thing that I really pay attention to when I'm doing my reviews. It's persona. So who is this for? For example, I think the iPhone 15 Pro Max was only a marginal improvement over the iPhone 14 Pro Max. And honestly, I've had buyer's remorse, since then. It's kicked in, because especially once I started using a Mac and I didn't have to actually use the USB-C that I purchased it for to use with my PC. But objectively, right, it's still an excellent phone. The iPhone 15 Pro Max is an excellent phone. I didn't switch to 16 because of the same thing. It's like not that much of a difference. And that one is still a phenomenal phone. And to respond to ConjuredFilms, she kind of talked about the DJI Action 5. I hate action cameras. They're small sensors, so they need a ton of light, but they're perfect on a snowmobile, right? Bias isn't a flaw, it's just a lens, pun included, that you're looking through. Credibility isn't about personal preference alone, it's about honest context. Saying that a product is good within the niche for the user that it's designed for doesn't mean that you're lying. It just means that it may be really good within the space that it's supposed to serve. And of course, if I compare that to my FX30 or A7S III or my Sony A7C II, that camera's trash compared to that. But you're not strapping those to your snowmobile or the front of your snowboard, are you? So let's talk about bias. Getting a free product often feels like people think we're choosing between truth and lies with that. But flip that. Post-purchase rationalization is real. People unconsciously defend what they've paid for, actually more so than something they've been given for free. I actually think we're more biased when we've spent our own money, and that's what post-purchase rationalization is. Now think about it this way. This is a real life example. I have a wife and 6 kids. There's more pressure for me to justify paying $90 for a video game at home than there is to share honest thoughts with strangers online. Like, why did you buy that game? They gave it to me. But that said, we need the product for a credible hands-on review. We have to have it. Without it, what are we even doing here? Like, I'm Googling and sharing the same information that you can Google yourself. And after reviewing dozens of products, and I mean dozens under deadlines, the shine of free wears off really quick. It's not like, oh my God, a fresh product. Maybe your first 3, but even then it's not like, oh, let me lie so they can give me this cheap product, because when you first start getting them, your channel is small, so they're not sending you out a $1,000 camera or something like that. They're gonna send you out like a $20 microphone. Is there pressure to lie about a $20 microphone? No, you're gonna hear it. It sucks. But there's a place for it, right? So remember, free products are not equivalent to the value we offer the brand. That is point blank, period. If you can go back to my channel and look at videos that I've done 5 years ago, you will see that the cost of that product 5 years ago does not equate to 5 years of exposure to the audience. Above all, it comes down to character. Integrity isn't bought with the box. If someone's loyalty is for sale, that's on them. But what about you, right? The viewer. Do you vet your trusted sources? Do they feel personable or commercial? Do they provide real insight, or do they just recite specs? Also, creators have to disclose when a product is provided. It's not just ethical, it's legal. We have to tell you when something has been sent, shared with us. Yet viewers often hear disclosure and assume the review is fake. It doesn't mean that I'm lying, it means I'm being transparent that the product was sent out. From there, it's up to you to decide if you trust what's being said. So listen to the take and make an educated decision. But here's my take. Instead of shaming creators for accepting products, look at the bigger picture. Are they honest? Do they offer insight? Do they disclose clearly every time they get a product, like blatantly say, this was sent to me? Or do you have to figure it out throughout the video? That's what matters. Not whether the box showed up for free. But let me ask you this. Why do you distrust creators? What causes your bias if you fall into this camp? Not everybody does. Of those that don't trust free products or sponsor reviews, where does that skepticism come from? Because unpacking that is just as important as evaluating the content itself. Why is it hard for you to believe when someone says they're giving you an honest opinion? Because they received the product for free. But let's be real. Most of us have taken a chance on a review and felt let down. Like, I'm a consumer of YouTube as well. And I'm a consumer. I make purchases. So, I have had situations where it's like, that's not as good as they said it. But I do a lot of research. I'm super nerdy and sometimes almost analysis paralysis. So what's your story? Drop a comment. Let's keep the conversation going. I mean, and if you're new here, consider joining the Cozy Coalition for more honest takes like this. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.